Hey guys, it's Courtney King with King Realty and Management. I'm gonna adjust this real quick. Hopefully this tripod thing doesn't fall on me like it did last time. Anyway, happy Wednesday. I hope all of you guys are doing well. Shout out to all the parents out there whose kids are now back at school. I'm sure you're out partying right now, right? So let's talk a little bit about LLCs. The reason for this video is somebody commented on my YouTube channel and was asking, okay, can you do a video on why somebody would want to buy a property in an LLC, pros, cons, all of that good stuff. So I just wanted to make sure I covered that. Right now, with one of my properties in particular, I'm actually kind of going back and forth. The property in question is something that I bought earlier this year. It's in my name personally, but I'm weighing if I want to put it in a trust, like from an estate planning perspective, or if I want to put it in an LLC. And I don't have the answer yet because I haven't talked to my CPA yet on what's going to be best. But today we're just going to focus on LLCs, okay? So LLC stands for a limited liability corporation or company. And I have quite a few clients that put their rental properties in LLCs. I've seen it done quite a few different ways. So I've seen, not my particular clients, but other folks will have each property in its own individual LLC. I will talk about why that seems like it's too much, to be honest with you. But a lot of my clients will put like up to 5 properties in one entity, okay? The whole reason why somebody would want to put a property in an LLC is to limit the liability that falls on them personally. So we know in the United States, people sue everybody for anything and everything every day. And so putting a property in an LLC helps prevent any personal liability from falling on you. So for example, if something happens at a property, like, you know, your tenants throw these huge ragers and somebody falls into a pool and something very, very terrible happens, potentially that family or whoever could go after you personally if it's in your name personally. But if it is in an LLC, then basically it protects your individual interests, but basically allows somebody to go after the interests of whatever's in the LLC, whatever assets are in the LLC. So that's the main reason why people do it. Here in Texas, LLCs generally have to file like certain like franchise taxes. Even though you're not a franchise, there's certain tax documents and stuff that you have to file when you have an LLC. And so that kind of brings me back to what I just said in terms of having one property per LLC seems a bit much because it's going to be a lot of paperwork that you have to take care of and keep up with. Forming an LLC is super easy in my opinion, but just the upkeep and the day-to-day stuff might be a lot if you have one entity per property. I forgot to do one of the most important disclaimers. 1, I'm not a CPA. 2, I'm not an attorney. So make sure you consult with the professionals. I consult with the professionals as well. So this is just basically information that I've gathered not only from my personal research, but also observing what my clients do, okay? So you always still want to consult with the actual professionals to see what the best route is, okay? The other positive for LLCs, aside from limiting the liability that falls on you personally, is going to be just the pass-through taxation. So it's a way that people avoid double taxation because any taxes and stuff that are the result of, you know, whatever income that you have on a property, or if you sell a property, it basically pass through to the members of the LLC. So you can have a single member LLC where it's just you. You can have multiple managing members or multiple members. Not everybody would be required to have actual managing kind of authority, but everything is designated and outlined in an operating agreement. So my dad and I have a few LLCs, but one in particular that's for our investment properties. So him and I are both managing members. So in that operating agreement, you can outline who is a managing member, who's just a member, and then also the ownership of the LLC. So depending on what you put in your operating agreement, then a percentage of the income reported or the losses reported is basically divided up in those members. So again, consult with an attorney or somebody that is very, very familiar with establishing LLCs, and you can decide. A couple of other things, let me take a look at my notes. You have greater flexibility when it comes to distributing profits or transferring interests in a property. So typically it's a very easy form that's signed by all the managing members, and then you file it at the state level. So that's easy when it comes to transferring things. Because I know in some states, LLCs, forming them and keeping them up might be more expensive and more hassle than it's worth. The other alternative that some people suggest for limiting any personal liability is just getting a umbrella policy. So a umbrella liability insurance policy. Sorry, I can't talk. And that would also help protect you from any personal liability with your rental property. Just remember there's caps on insurance, but sometimes the cost of that umbrella liability policy from an insurance company is actually less than forming the entity, keeping up, having CPAs keep up with it, blah, 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 blah. So that could be an alternative. Disadvantages, honestly, in my experience, the only disadvantages is just making sure you're on top of the books and making sure you're reporting and filing all of the appropriate documents, okay? So it does add that extra step that you have to take that you wouldn't necessarily have to take from a personal perspective. So when I figure out what I'm gonna do with this other property that's under my name personally, I will let you know. I'll kind of relay what my CPA has told me, and basically take it from there. Remember, you can find me kingrealtytx.com. We're on Instagram and Twitter at kingrealtydfw. Obviously, you're watching me on Facebook, so you know where we're at here. And just stay tuned. We've got some awesome projects that we're working on. I can't reveal too much, but I will be bringing you the information as they come out. So hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Don't forget to visit us, kingrealtytx.com. Thank you.